Hey guys, look what we've done. I really, really like this. And at the end, I will pull up a picture of what I had originally for Conjurer of Death. And I know I put the logo on this and I kind of rushed off the last video because somebody rang my doorbell and I had to go all the way upstairs to see who was at the door. And it was just a package, so I could have just left it there. But back here in the final section of Conjurer of Death, and we're going to play around a little bit with some light effects on this. Now, I saved what we were working on, and if it looks just a little bit different, it's because I went out and I put it back into a CMYK because CMYK mutes the blue a little bit, mutes the purple a little bit, and I wanted to see what production print is going to look like. And this is a little bit purple, just a little bit, but I'm okay with that. Because we have a little bit of a separation between the purple up here and the blue down here, this almost looks like we did this picture all as one when it comes to colorization. Um, but we didn't. We did this as a split, and just the way we managed to, yeah, I gotta have my navigation box down there so I can see where I'm going. Um, I wanted to look over here because this caught my eye. That's a little bit funky, but it's a very small spot way off in the corner. Might get cut off when I do this for a 20 by 30 and, all the sizes we do, 8 by 10, 12 by 16. I can't even remember them all, for posters and prints. But this needs to have, I think, some light effects to it. So that's what we're gonna do right now. And I know we need a sparkle. We don't need all those automatic sparkles. I'm not gonna bedazzle it, I don't know if you're old enough to remember bedazzling, but we did a lot of bedazzling back in the day, or at least some people did. I'm not that type of person. I'm not nearly that crafty. We're gonna zoom up here because we are going to put, hopefully, a really cool, if you'll work. Come on now. I like it when you work. Sparkle. There we go. I don't know why it does this sometimes in PhotoDirector365, but it just, sometimes you're clicking on it and it just doesn't want to go there. Um, so I kind of want it as high up on the staff as I can get. And maybe we'll have to put a couple of them in there. Because what's going on here now? I'd swear it's there. Where are you? See, now I get a nice bright one right there, but I can't get it up higher. So let's see if we can do it maybe. Ah, there we go. It must have something to do with the way the pixels are mapped, and you can only do it like at the center of a pixel or something. I don't understand it. I just know that sometimes I have great difficulty getting sparkle where I want it. And I really kind of like that. I want it to be super intense. It's only one, so we can affect the rotation. Um, kind of like it more on an axis, kind of like that. Now we can affect the hue of this too. We can change it to different colors, kind of like that bluey purple right there. We can saturate it more, make it darker, make it lighter, kind of like that. We don't need to worry about enabling the animation effects. We've got the intensity all the way up. That's about all we can do with that sparkle. But if we step back, you can see it's a substantial sparkle. which is cool. I like that. Kind of gives you the impression that he is indeed controlling this somehow with his Infinity Stone or something. Any Marvel guys out there, I love Marvel movies. Not too keen on the ones they've been putting out lately, but we'll see. I think they'll bring it back. Now we can do a light hit, which when we're on the effects part, speak, boy, speak. Holy cow. When we're on the effects section, we're in guided. This is, I don't even know if this is available in design. I've never even done it in design. We can do light rays, which can be like kind of all over. You can move them to affect it differently. You know, I could put a light ray right up here and I can put a mask on it so that I can expand and contract it, tell it which way to go. It's really, really, really a cool feature. I really like it. Um, I'm just not sure if that's what I want to do with this. Remember, we took all those, if you saw that the first video where we were taking things out, we took all the uh, kind of scraggly stuff out of there. And I thought maybe we would put a light hit up here or a light ray, one of the two. Um, and I think for all intensive purposes, it does kind of need to be at an angle so that he's kind of in the center of it. But this is awfully intense. It's awfully bright. So we're going to start playing with it. And we'll bring in some softness. See how it just kind of blends into the picture? But I also want to play with the threshold, which actually kind of brings it way down. Makes it less color. And I kind of like the color the way that it is. And we can play with length. And so we can bring the length up where we're more just on the statue, more just on death being conjured into existence. And we can change the expansion of it. And we haven't even played with intensity yet. I mean, we can kind of bring it right down to there and maybe expand it out and tilt it a little more. So it's more like straight down kind of thing. There's so many things you can do with this. It's freaking phenomenal. This is one of my favorite parts. See, now we've got the length where it's kind of just doing its thing right at the bottom of the statue. We can even move this up a little bit and over a little bit. Yeah, we don't want it to be over because we've got it kind of this point of light up here. So we may change direction just a little bit. See if we can bring the length down one more, maybe increase it one more, couple more. No, I think we still have to play with the intensity. It might fade right in. We can make it super intense. We can bring it way down. We can soften it so it doesn't look like nearly as much of a. See, now I think I can even extend it out even further. Kind of like that. Bring the intensity down a little more. Bring the softness up a little bit. So this is one way that we can affect the lighting on this. And I kind of like this, but there's also directional light rays and there's also light hits. So I really do kind of like this right where I have it. But if we go into the directional rays, this is kind of all over. You can change the direction of it. You can change the threshold. You can do all that kind of stuff. You change the length of it to nothing. You know, you can really kind of make it a blur. Uh, but that doesn't really fit this picture because there's not a point that I can move around. So if we go back to here, I think we need to play around with this just a little bit more. Maybe it's too soft, not intense enough. I think the softness is taking too much of the color out of it. Um, Maybe we just need to shorten it so it looks like it's coming more up in there. I really kind of like that. Um, I'm really kind of happy with that, actually. I don't want to play around with it too much because I'm really kind of digging it. And so I'm going to hit the back button and save that. And then we can also use light hits. For example, over here, if I put a light hit, I can drag this almost completely off the screen. That's got the halo on it. I don't want the halo. Um, let's try that one. It's got some streaks in it, but if we put it way off the side over here, you can literally drag it off the screen, which is kind of nice. You can flip it. Where's the flip? So see how this directional beam is coming off of there? I can actually flip that, get it out of the screen, get this up over here, kind of decide on where I want to play with it. And then we can fade it out. We can soften it. We can mess with the hue, kind of try and blend it into what's already happening over there. So we can have a lot of fun with this. There's so much photo direct. I haven't even discovered half of it. It's crazy. Um, Take the brightness down a little bit, see if the contrast does anything. Because I don't really want this to be like super intense over here. I just want an alternate light source in this area to kind of brighten up this corner of the picture. And I could put one over here that's blue. And I would use the same one. That might not let me. I might have to back out of this. I'm happy with that, I think. Um, Not light rays. Undo that. Oops. Go into light hits and see if it'll let me put a second one in. It will. Okay, cool. And if we put a second one in here and we drag this off the screen and we make this one blue, if we can find a good blue, there's a pretty good blue if we saturate it more. We drag it a little further off the screen. Kind of like that. You soften it up a little bit, fade it out a little bit. And we've got kind of this, just this blue that's coming in from the side over here. You may want to bring that in and down a little bit. Fade it out a little more. It's just kind of a good contrast to that purple on the other side because we have more purple. I'm pointing at the screen, guys. Someday I'm going to get this. I can't point at the screen. I have to use my mouse. I've got this purple that's coming in here, and look at all the purple we have over here. And I've got this blue that's coming in here, and look at the blue we have over here. It's really kind of cool how you can use these light hits and you can move them all around. Problem is once you've got it where you want it, you got to back out in order to do another one. So I want to see if I can make this a little more blue. Where are we at? There's aqua. Here we're getting the purple in the 90s, so 70. Sometimes you got to move them one at a time to get what you want. And we'll saturate it a little more, but totally cool how you can do this and just add these little pops of color to what you're doing as far as artwork goes. And I think I'm happy with that right there. So that's how you can do lighting even after we've done all the other stuff that we've done to this image. It's freaking crazy. From just extending the image to working on the image and getting the contrast right and getting the sharpness right and all of those things. And I'm going to blow this up because I want to see my guy up here. All the stringiness that I was seeing in the other one is just not there. So I am actually going to save this. I like it. And I'm going to show you that other um, picture. And we're going to change this to final. Oh, we don't need the CMYK on there because it's not going to store it as a CMYK. It's going to be an RGB. But we did all this in CMYK. So we know a very good approximation of what it's going to look like. And in order to do this side by side effectively, I'm going to pull them both up in GIMP um, because I can literally go from one to the other. I might take me a second to find the other one. Come on, GIMP, get up here. There we go. And I do use GIMP for certain things. Um, like when I resize a picture, I will use GIMP. 15, there we go. There's that one. Yeah, I got to convert to their color profile. Give me a second here to find. Actually, the original might be in there. Um, but I don't want the original. I want the one that I had originally put for um, up on the website. 215, step 6. See, I do a lot of things to these. So sometimes I think we're probably this one here. So don't point at the screen, dummy. This looked super cool to me, but when it printed, it was so washed out. And if I zoom up here a little bit, where's my zoom? There it is. You can see how stringy and wiry this stuff. I mean, it just jumped off the frickin' page at 24 by 36. And the way the mountains came out over here, um, so it it's just crazy. Whoops. Yeah, I didn't want to do that. Um, what kind of a difference you can make. And I'm much happier with this. It's not going to be nearly as stringy. I think it's going to be wonderful compared to that. I think I was trying to do too much with light, too much with everything else, and I just didn't do what I should have done in the first place with it. But I'm much happier with this. This is going to be a much better print. Um, and even if we zoom up on, oops, not out in, GIMP's a little funky. I'm not crazy about GIMP, but I do use it for certain things. If we zoom up, this is so much nicer. I mean, they're still a little bit stringy for my taste. They don't look so natural. But what about this image is natural? You know what I mean? It's a sorcerer calling forth death into the universe. And it's explosive and it's probably not even on this world. Another place that really bothered me was down here, and I'm so much happier with this. It doesn't look all stringy and messed up. I was thinking about taking some clouds and piling clouds in here, stuff like that. So I am just way happier with the way this came out, and I'm so glad you guys came with me on this journey. We're going to keep them coming at you. These vodcasts are going to continue for every image that I'm doing for the website because I think there's something about the transparency of showing the amount of work that I put into these things in terms of, it's not just a raw AI image. I do a lot and I change them in a lot of ways that make them my own and bring forth my artistic feel and my emotion into the image. So thanks for hanging out with me again, guys. Again, I'll put all of these together into one long one, or you can go to the individual ones if you want to, but it will be up on the vodcast in pieces over the next several days. And I thank you for coming along with me. Put something in the comments if you want to know something. If I missed something, if you want me to expand on something else. But I will keep them coming and you guys keep watching. Thank you, thank you, thank you so much for hanging out with me. And remember, you'll probably get tired of hearing me say it, but let the chaos out. Let it out. If you're creative like I am, get it out of there because there's never, ever been a time like this in our world where you can use these kind of tools to get your imagination out into the world and share it with everybody. And that's what Chaosivity is all about. Is it's about sharing the creativity that is trapped in so many minds that don't know or have not had the ability to get them out until now, today, when we have these magnificent tools at our disposal. So enough from the high horse. I love you guys. Thank you for hanging out with me, and we'll see you on the next one.